Hello, Elizabeth Van Cleve here from highvibeslife.com. Today I'm going to give you 5 steps that you can take when your emotions are overwhelming you. The first one is to breathe. So the first thing you want to do more than anything is whenever your emotions are really high, you are constricting your breath. And the most relaxing thing a person can do is to get deep oxygen into their body. So that's the first step you'll want to take, is to start breathing. So one technique that you can use is what is called the alternate nostril breathing. And it helps to balance the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. And so what you do is you take your ring finger and your thumb, and you're going to breathe in deeply and slowly, and then when you get to reach the top of your breath, you're going to switch fingers. So you're going to basically breathe in through one nostril while you are holding the other nostril down with your thumb. And then when you breathe all the way in, you're going to switch to your ring finger, keeping your arm as relaxed as you can, and close the other nostril and then let the air out through the opposite nostril. Now the only time you'll let the air out is the only time you'll switch your fingers from your thumb to the other one, from your thumb to the other one, because you're going to go back and forth several times. The only time you will switch is when your breath is full and you're going to let your air out. So always remember, when you're at the top of the breath is the time to switch fingers. That helps to keep it from feeling too confusing. So I'll give you an example now. So you go like this. So you'll want to do that at a minimum of 10 times, but go even 20, 30 times of doing it if you need to, if you're really upset and need to calm down. And try to slow your breath down more and more as you go. When you breathe in and take those deep breaths, try to imagine your ribs expanding out, and then the breath even dropping deeper into your belly, so that you get a full lung capacity breath each time you go in. And again, don't force the breath, like, don't do that. Sometimes I'll do that every once in a while when I feel like I'm not getting enough oxygen. Sometimes a little bit of anxiety is there. So, you might do that a couple times, but as much as you can, just make it be natural and slow and rhythmic. And then the next thing that you can do, once you've got your breath slowed down, a really good thing to do is to give yourself a hug. Hugging is comforting. And sometimes if you don't have somebody there already that can comfort you in that way, you're really blessed if somebody is there that can be a true comfort and validate you and not try to fix you. Because a lot of times when people are there, they just try to fix it, and it's not helpful. But here's how to give yourself a hug, okay? So you basically, for one thing, you can just do this, okay? And really rub yourself and just hug yourself. And you could put your head down if you want, or you could rest your head on one of your arms and rock. Just rock, until it just feels really comforting and really good. And then you can switch arms. Now, a lot of times I actually push one arm with the other, so that I can get my hand back behind me and just rub my neck and back, just like somebody that really loved you would do. If they really cared about you, they might stroke your head. And sometimes it's hard just with one arm, but when you have this arm kind of holding the shoulder back, you can reach back there better and just give yourself a really comforting hug. And again, you can rock, you can close your eyes, and remember to breathe. Keep that steady breath up. If you find yourself constricting again, just try to keep your breath, to steady it back out. And just do that as long as you need to, as long as it feels good. You can always just open out your arms and rub them and just comfort yourself. Give yourself some deep comfort. Then number 3, after you do that, you'll want to really just start grounding yourself. So look around the room for things, you know, and name things out loud. Like right now I'm in my living room, I might say, there's the picture of my white, you know, stallion, or my white horse, you know. There's the picture, oh, my daughter's wedding, and that was so beautiful, and look at her in her gown. And just really start looking at things. Oh, my plants, they look so vibrant and green. Things that might feel comforting, but also bring you into the room, start making you aware of, I'm here, I'm not in that place that maybe has been triggered, whether I'm conscious of it or not. You're bringing yourself back into the room. And you could also even listen. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's birds and there's breezes. So there, if there's comforting sounds at all, yeah, listen too, and try to think of the sounds around you that you're hearing. So just really ground yourself by using your senses, by naming things. Name at least 10 things in the room. Just look around and just make yourself name 10 things. I hate to say force, that just sounds so aggressive. Okay, and then number 4, remind yourself of your power. Okay, so if you're taking my course, you've learned a little bit about developing a persona of power. And you're reminding yourself that you are no longer a victim. You are now in your personal power. And even though you may have just experienced and remembered something where you felt powerless and even were powerless at the time, at this moment, I'm okay. That's what you have to say. I'm okay. I have everything I need. I have a roof over my head. I can feed myself. I can take care of myself. I can even hug myself and soothe myself. And I love myself and I'm okay. So remind yourself of your personal power. And then the 5th and last thing to do is to distract yourself. So once you've brought some soothing in, grounded yourself, reminded yourself that you're a strong person, distract yourself. Move on to something different now. Watch a comedy. Go on a walk. I love to go down to Hobby Lobby sometimes, or stores like that have crafts or just things that I like. I like gemstones type stores, health food stores, and browse, because I'm really engaged. So you'll kind of want an activity. If walking is going to cause you just to think more, then it might not be the right activity to do. So do something that's distracting enough that'll take your mind off of the trigger and what was upsetting you so deeply. And so that way, it's okay that we were triggered, and it's okay that something came up. But it's important to remember that you don't have to stay there, and life hasn't come to an end, because sometimes when you're feeling that upset, life feels horrible, and it always reminds me, like J.K. Rowling said when in the books, you know, with the Dementors, how they would come and they would suck the soul out, and it felt like all the happiness in the world drained out, and it would never be happy again. And that's how it can feel when we get that triggered and that low. And so we want to do these steps to bring us back into the reality that it's not really like that we do have a good life, that we are powerful, and that we are no longer in that situation, and we are getting the tools and the help we need to make a better and more beautiful and magical and great future for us. So I hope that this has been helpful. If it has, please like my video for me. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.